Hey, everybody. I wanted to keep this kind of simple because I think a lot of people don't realize who this man is and what we truly lost today. Peter McGough was the editorial director of Flex magazine when I worked at Weeder Publications between the years of 1999 and 2004. Peter McGough is the man who did a large part in pioneering bodybuilding. He's the one who popularized, brought Dorian Yates over here to the States. He worked in the magazines for years. And above all else, he mentored me and a lot of other people in this industry. When I first came to Weeder Publications, I will never forget my first day, and I talk about it all the time. I walked into this big, beautiful building with Greek statues around the trim of the outside building. You walk inside, there's huge pictures of Lou Ferrigno, of Arnold Schwarzenegger, of Franco Columbu. Statues. Joe Weeder had a tremendous statue collection. And I walked in. My first day, I had to meet with everybody who was in charge of their separate departments, from shape to muscle and fitness to men's fitness to flex. And I walked into Peter McGough's office. After meeting with the other guys, it was all business related. And Peter took me to the art room and he showed me a picture of a modern day bodybuilder. He's like, you see that body? That's all synthol. It's not pretty. It's not what bodybuilding is about. He walked over to the other side of the art room. That's where they prepped the magazine for print. And there was a picture of Dorian Yates. He looked at it, he said, that's bodybuilding. That's what we do here. We're Flex magazine. And throughout my years at Weeder, no matter how stupid the question, I was 19 when I started at Weeder. No matter what, Peter took the time out of his day to sit down with me and answer my questions and help me. Whether it was a question about life, whether it was a question about whatever, Peter always took the time to help me. Peter always took the time. I'm not going to do the cliche thing and say that Peter was like a father to me. I will say that out of everybody in my life that has helped me along the way, Peter was one of the most important. A couple of years ago, we were at the Arnold Classic, and I posted this picture on Instagram today. And Peter walked up to the booth, and I hadn't seen him in years. And I immediately walked out to him. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I haven't seen you in years, And he's like, Marc, in his British accent, he said, Marc, I've been following you, what you've been doing for years, and I'm proud of you. And I can't find the post. It's so long. It's like 2-3 years ago. And I talked all night to my wife about how awesome it was that he said that. And that meant the world to me. And what this man did to our sport, the love he showed for bodybuilding, the way he treated other people, his ethics, the moral compass he had. He wasn't just a great man for the industry. He was a great man for the world. One of my fondest memories of Peter McGough is we just got done writing one of the first times we did a New Year program where we put in this hardcore training program. And it was one of the first years that we went to the Olympia. And so I'm standing at the booth with Peter, because usually I just went around my clients. I was in marketing and advertising. And I'm standing at the booth with Peter. This guy comes up to the booth and he goes, hey, I'm doing this program. My elbows hurt. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I'm standing there with Peter. I'm like, I think instead of skull crushers, why don't you do press downs? Just coming up with some alternatives. Peter McGough looked at the guy and he goes, you know what? It's going to hurt. He said, this isn't ping pong. If you want to get big, you got to train like that or something like that. And I was like, oh my God. And for him, it was just life. He loved the sport. He loved the athletes. He loved it. Peter McGough is the biggest loss our industry has had since Joe Weider passed away. So I just want you guys to know who he is. I want you to look him up. I want you to Google him. Because everything you see right now in bodybuilding, if you're a fan or not, Peter had a large part to do with it. And he was the biggest advocate for the sport there ever has been. So Peter, your family, and rest in peace, man. Such a great man. So anyway, I had to get that off my chest. Appreciate you guys watching.
Peak Physicor is probably my favorite supplement ever created. It helps subjects double their bench press max when compared to placebo. An 8.5 increase in peak power. 11% increase in VO2 max, which means more sets, more reps, more endurance, more overload, more gains, and a 5% increase in lean body mass. These are valid human studies, guys. This is an amazing supplement, non-hormonal, completely non-hormonal. It works all natural. It's grass status safe. This is a supplement for you. Give Peak Physicor a try. It stacks well with everything.